In the last video, I began the search to find the origins of this unsettling Barney costume photo standing behind a kid. Originally, it was posted to the subreddit r/creepy. It has gone on to be used widely across the internet in several memes. In the beginning, although I didn't find much, I had many different theories as to how we could solve this mystery. And since then, there have been so many discoveries that it's actually mind-blowing. And I'm going to reveal it all. Just to recap for anybody that might have not seen the first video, in the photo, based off of the colors of the costume being slightly darker, I proposed the idea that the photo was most likely taken between the late 80s to early 90s, as Barney's costume was changed from a dark purple to a brighter pink color around 1994. And with what little information we do have, the strongest theory I came up with is that the photo was taken at something like a pumpkin patch. As you can see, there is a greenhouse in the background that suggests it's most likely some kind of farm. And from my own personal childhood experience, I know it might be hard to imagine that someone like me was also a child at one point, but the only time that I would ever go to a place like a greenhouse was for a special event like a school field trip. But unfortunately, due to the original poster deleting their account, we had no way of getting any additional information. Immediately after posting my first video, the community began searching for all kinds of different horrifying Barney photos, like really nightmare-inducing stuff. But there were also a lot of interesting theories as to why this costume looks so unsettling. Specifically this one by a user by the name of Minnie. In this, they show that most likely the costume face is just tilted up in a way that covers the eyes, which then gave it the illusion that the nostrils are supposed to be the eyes, hence how you would get this soulless, horrifying of a face. I had definitely thought of this idea, but I think the way that this user specifically demonstrated it was a really good example. And to me, this is the most likely explanation for why it looks the way it does. But despite all of the activity and different theories, it seemed like there was no way to figure out the true origins of this image. That was until a user by the name Jason Tame said this. I found a comment on a video by Chilling Scares called "Where Did These Images Come From?" And before we get to that comment, let me explain to you what he's talking about. It's a horror video just like many others we've seen, like the one from Scare Theater where they try to explain the origins of the photo, but of course are unable to do so. Why would we mention this video? It has 1.7 million views. There is no way that anything would go unnoticed here. So I scrolled down and read the comments to look for what Jason Tame had mentioned. And what was in there genuinely had me shocked. 1 year ago, a comment by the user Imp Commander reads, "So on the Barney image, the young kid is actually me. I remember sending to my friend Owen back in the day, and him telling me it was well received on Reddit. On the left of the picture, you can see a man standing who's slightly cut off. That's my dad. I remember the picture was in central New Jersey, I think at a flea market. I used to love Barney. I asked my parents and they couldn't really remember why they had someone in a terrible Barney costume, or really where it was. Just surreal seeing myself in one of these videos." How could nobody have seen this? The comment itself only has 60 likes. And from the time it was posted up until now, it has gone completely under everyone's radar. The more that I do these kinds of lost media searches, the more I realize that usually the answer is hidden in plain sight. While people once again told me that this was probably impossible, and that this could even take months, the original kid from the photo himself posted a comment a year ago and nobody knew it. He goes on to continue the conversation. "For real? Obviously you don't have proof, but I kind of believe you. Oh yeah, that's me at about 4 or 5. I found the picture one day while me and my sister were going through photo albums at my parents' place. Super into creepypastas and all that sort of thing, I sent it to my buddy on Facebook Messenger. He loved it and put it on Reddit, which I didn't really mess with at the time, and was updating me all afternoon while I was at work. This was years ago. Definitely forgot about it. And I'm laying on bed the other day and saw the thumbnail of this video and thought my phone was doing something. Then realized what I was seeing. Guess I could upload a video of me messing with the actual photo, or maybe post it in the subreddit." This story seems like it's going into way too much detail for it to be fake. So I actually agree with that other commenter. But this is the internet, so you always have to be hesitant just in case, as you never know if somebody is just trolling. But here's the thing. If you go to his channel, and specifically in the post tab, the evidence is actually all there and has been sitting there for months. First is a picture of the physical photo and a sticky note with both his YouTube and Reddit usernames to confirm that he is actually the kid. Throughout the post, there are several different other photos to prove that it is in fact real, but I want to direct your attention towards slide 4 when things get more interesting. There's something written on the right side of the image. A visit to a farm in NJ and a surprise visit from Barney. Is this not the most unsettling written message of all time? They could have just posted this with the original caption and it would have been its own creepypasta of itself. Surely they had to have known at the time that this was such an unsettling photo. I also want to direct your attention to the 5th slide, which features more photos of Imp Commander in the same location at a pumpkin patch. Yep, my theory from the first video was absolutely correct. Once again, it feels good to be right. It's actually pretty wild how I specifically said pumpkin patch, and that's literally where it is. I surprise myself sometimes. It's good to know that we have finally confirmed who the kid in the photo is. This means that all of the other information he provided is true, but more importantly, we have a potential way to contact the person. But this all sparks a bigger question. Where was the photo taken? Well, we know for a fact that it's a farm in New Jersey, and they grow pumpkins there, which are 2 massive leads. Hypothetically, if we can find where this photo was taken, there has to be another picture of this Barney costume taken in the last 25 years. So people immediately started searching with these guidelines. There were contenders that seemed close with greenhouses, but none of them seemed to perfectly match up. As one of the key details they used to confirm this was the telephone pole that you can see in the photo. Until a user that, I kid you not, goes by the name of Foxy from Temu came across a place called Ort Farms. This might be the place. Judging by Google Images, they hold a lot of events, it seems. Then a name that you might be familiar with if you know anything about this channel, the user Fish sends this photo. And there we have it. Everything lines up. From the other 2 photos in Imp Commander's post, and a shot of the same greenhouse. Ort Farms is 100% the location of the Barney photo. It's just so crazy to me how the community was able to put everything together so quickly. And now the only thing left to do is to find another angle of this Barney costume. Surely at least one other photo has to exist out there somewhere. But this story isn't over. At the time of making this video, I have already reached out to Imp Commander with the request to interview. And he accepted, but trying to get in direct contact with him is difficult because YouTube is automatically removing my comments. So the process has been slow, but I wanted to get an update out to you guys. So I'm definitely going to make a 3rd video where I interview Imp Commander and hopefully get even more additional information behind the photo. But this whole situation was imposed on Imp Commander by a post that he didn't even make himself. So I'm going to leave a link to his channel in the description, and maybe you go drop a sub or leave a nice comment. If you want to try to help us solve this case or have lost media that you want found, I have a Discord in the description and you can join us there. And yeah, that's all for this video. Peace out.
Making it home safe. Float, 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 float. I've been sinking like I don't. All these reasons that I quote.